What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today I've got a nice, simple, quick and dirty front split routine for you to use and apply to your training to help you make some gains in that front split. So today's video is going to be pretty generic. We're going to go through the standard ranges of motion that you need to develop for the front splits, as well as some PNF activation in the front split for the full routine. It is important though to understand your own limitations and where you need to personally improve. In today's video, I'm just going to go quickly through the exercises that we're going to be doing, then I'll talk you how you make the routine. Let's jump into it. There's only 3 exercises in this routine. As I said, it's pretty simple, quick and dirty. So let's get on to the first exercise. The first exercise is an assisted single leg good morning. You may recognize this exercise from my full body mobility routine. It's the hamstring exercise that I put in that. It's just a really great single leg hamstring mobilizer. It's going to really focus on getting that hip articulation that's needed for that hamstring mobility to transfer over into the front split. So this exercise, you're going to start standing with your feet split about half a meter to a meter apart. You're going to keep your front leg straight, have a little bit of flex in your back leg, and then you're simply going to hinge at the hips like you would do a good morning, and you're just going to keep a neutral spine, bend as far forward as you can in that flex position, and then you're going to reverse the motion using your hamstring and your glute to bring you back up. You're then going to repeat this for 10 repetitions. Each time you're going to try and sink down a little bit further. Use your hip flexor to pull yourself into that stretch a little bit further, making sure you keep that nice neutral spine and using those hips. After we've done 10 reps, we're going to pause for 10 seconds in that final position as deep as we can, and we're going to hold it there. After those 10 seconds are up, we're going to rep out, and then we're simply going to repeat the same process on the other side, 10 reps and a 10-second pause on the last rep in that deepest position that you can get into. The next exercise is an active lunge. For this exercise, we're going to be starting in a passive lunge position just on the floor, and then all we're going to do is pivot our back foot so our toes are on the ground, and then we're simply going to stand up into an active lunge and then relax back down into that passive lunge. To do this, you need to make sure that you're contracting your glutes and your hamstrings and you're pushing away into that active lunge position. We're going to repeat this process for 10 reps, just the same as our assisted single leg good morning. And then on that final rep, on the 10th rep, we're going to pause for 10 seconds in that active lunge position. Again, trying to keep those hips square. We want to make sure we're contracting those glutes and our hamstrings and pushing away from the ground. We want this to be an active position. And then just like before, we're going to repeat the exact same process on the other side. To make this exercise harder, you're simply going to reduce the amount of flexion you have in your front knee. So you're basically going to move your back leg further back, and it's going to be moving more towards an active front split hold. The final exercise is a PNF front split hold. To start off this front split PNF, we're going to start in a front split position on the floor, pretty passive. We're going to go as deep as we can while maintaining neutral hips. And then all we're going to do to start this exercise is we're going to have a 10-second contraction where we're trying to lift our front leg up. It probably won't leave the floor, but we kind of want to feel like we're making that contraction with our hip flexor and pulling ourselves deeper into that hamstring stretch. After we performed that 10-second contraction, we're then going to slide down as far as we can go into the front split. Once we get into that maxed out range of motion, we want to perform 3 PNF contractions. Just like my middle split PNF routine, we want to make them 10-second contractions, 5-second relaxation. To do this PNF contraction or PIR contraction, you're simply going to press both your legs into the ground at about an 80% activation for 10 seconds. This means you're going to be pushing your front foot, you're going to be pushing the heel hard into the ground, activating that hamstring, activating that glute. And then for the back leg, we're going to be pushing the top of our foot into the ground, but we're going to be activating the glute as well, and also a little bit of the hip flexor. As I said, contract for 10 seconds, relax for 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, try and sink a little bit further into the stretch if you can, and then repeat for a total of 3 repetitions. And then if you're feeling really brave, you can hold that final position for another sort of 10 or 15 seconds after you performed those PNF contractions. Those are the 3 exercises, really nice and simple, and they can be performed at pretty much any ability. How I personally like to perform this routine is I like to perform the first 2 exercises, so the assisted single leg good morning and the active lunge as a series. So I like to alternate back and forth, and I'll perform my 3 sets of those to begin with, and then I will go into my 3 sets of PNF contractions as a separate exercise. As for total volume, I've mentioned 3 sets. 3 sets is kind of a nice number. Overall, good amount of volume to have maybe like a twice weekly training session. However, I would suggest you maybe start light, start with 1 or 2 sets of this, see how you go, and then at the high end, I would probably not recommend pushing 5 sets. That would be a very heavy session in this case. But that is it for today, guys. As I said, a really simple, quick and dirty front split routine. If you want the full details, they will be in the description down below, as well as links to the middle split PNF video, my full body mobility routine, as well as the bodyweight warrior t-shirts, which I am wearing in this video. You can grab them on my website. Again, links to all of that in the description down below. But that's it for this week, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and support the channel. If you have any questions about this routine, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. If you have any more questions, why not ask the community over at the Facebook group, linked in the description down below. But that is it for this week, guys. Have a strong and supple week, and peace.